Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a little draw with me with a Q&A. You guys know the drill. I put a little thing on my Instagram stories asking you guys to send me some questions or some topics that you'd like me to talk about in this video. So let's get into it. So I got all the questions on my phone. I actually thought I'd switch things up a little bit in today's video. Instead of doing sketching in my sketchbook, we're going to be doing it on my iPad. Some sketching or rendering out a drawing. I'm not really sure yet what I'm going to be doing. I've always got like a big backlog of unfinished sketches just for days like this where I don't really feel particularly inspired, but I want to draw. So at least I always have something that needs rendering. Does that make sense? I might just do some warm-up sketches and then maybe go on to something a bit more rendered. Well, I'll figure it out. Let's get the questions rolling. I think for some warm-up sketches, guys, I'm gonna just get some reference pics. How do you make friends in the art community? How do you reach out to fellow artists? That's a good question. A lot of the friends I've made in the art community have actually become really good friends of mine. The art community is really good for, like, if you comment on someone's post, they're just really, everyone's just really chill, you know? So if you, like, comment something like, hey, this looks really good, people are normally gonna reply and, like, look at your profile and, like, you know, try to develop some sort of friendship there. Yeah, I just feel like you don't really have to worry that much with people in the art community. Everyone seems pretty chill. If you see someone's work that you really like, and like, drop a comment, you know, like, try to engage with their post because they'll probably really like it. I always love it when people, like, comment something lovely on my posts, obviously. So yeah, and, you know, start a conversation. People are normally pretty cool with that. I like to, like, reply to people's stories sometimes, like, if they posted something funny or something that I also like, I'm like, oh my god, me too, haha. And I feel like that's a nice way to start a conversation. Yeah, just remember that everyone out there is probably just as shy as you. So I'm just using this, like, reference picture from Pinterest to just do some quick sketching, just some quick figure drawing. I find it really useful to, like, do some quick sketches before I start drawing anything because it loosens up my wrists and I feel less, like, stiff and scared to draw the actual thing. How many hours per day do you dedicate your time for art? This question is pretty interesting because it's changed quite a lot in the past few years, obviously. When I used to do art as mainly a hobby, especially when I was in school, I'd unfortunately not do it as much because I had schoolwork and I was also still living at home, so, you know, it wasn't always the best environment to be drawing in. I was very focused on my studies, so I drew pretty much at night on the weekends. But now that art is my job, I dedicate pretty much 80% of my time doing art or something art related, whether it be animation or, you know, doing concept stuff or working on my comic. Yeah, I'd say pretty much 80% of my time I'm doing art related stuff. Even this, like doing videos for YouTube, I'm always doing something artsy, creative. I do it a lot more now because it's my job, but it's also still what I enjoy doing in my free time. Like, even the week that went by, I was working pretty much full-time on an animation project, and then in the evenings, I thought, you know what, I just haven't had enough of animating, so I'm gonna do some more animating. And I did some little, you know, animation shots and tests and stuff on my iPad in the evenings. I do try to limit how much I do outside of work because my eyes do struggle a lot when I've done, you know, work from morning till evening, and then I'll sit down and do more work on my iPad, my eyes start to really struggle. So trying to get better at managing how much time I spend straining my eyes. Overall, quite a lot of my time is spent drawing, which is lovely. It's really nice that I have this as a job. Advice for first year uni animation students who don't know what to specialize in. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Carly Drew Design. I hope you are doing well as well. And a lovely question. I'm sure I've said something along these lines in other videos, but definitely keep your mind open to everything especially in your first year. You're just there to learn the basics and learn pretty much everything that there is in the animation industry, which for many people, when you're going into your first year of animation, you probably don't know how many jobs there actually are within the animation industry. I definitely didn't, and you'll find something in there that like you enjoy. So keep your mind open. Don't go in, already having a set idea of what you want to do, and just try a bit of everything, see what you like to do the best, take the experience as for what it is, and if you by the end still don't know what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. It's you don't need to know exactly what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life that early on, so don't stress out too much about it. You'll be okay. Try to learn as much as you can from everyone. Oh, and experiment, obviously, like try everything. Even if you think you won't like it, try it, because you never know. I really didn't think I'd like stop motion animation when I first went to uni, but then I tried it and I loved it a lot. So this is a little warm-up sketch. Shall I do another quick warm-up sketch? As you can see, I've been putting a lot of male human figure on my poses Pinterest board because I'm trying to get better at doing the male anatomy. Finding time for everything like drawing and studying and taking care of yourself. Yeah, I guess this also kind of falls with, managing your time and when do you stop doing art for yourself and start doing art for work, and how do you manage the leisure time you have with, work hours. I think the best thing to do is to establish like a working schedule for yourself and then try to stick to it, because as long as you have like a sort of a schedule, you can make sure that your day goes along with that, and you can how do I explain this? You have sort of like an internal clock, I guess. If you say, okay, I'm gonna stop working at 5 p.m. like at least every day you get to that time and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do something different to what I've just been doing now and do something that you want to do in your free time. I hope that makes sense. Set a schedule for yourself and try to stick to it. Yeah, I normally say, work from 9 or 10 until 5 or 6 p.m. It's normally how I do my schedule, but then again, some days I have more work, some days I have less work, so it really depends on your schedule. Not too sure what this pose is, but I'm trying to figure it out. Alright, composition of a piece. When is it enough elements or too much elements in a piece? That's a great question, which I think the answer is it comes a lot with experience and practice. Obviously, you can definitely like look up videos or, classes on composition and stuff like that. That's definitely something I'm still working on as well. Especially since I started my comic, I've been trying to get much better at background and composition and values and stuff like that. So I've been practicing that with my pieces a lot. But I think the best way to sometimes look at it is to put everything really small, like really shrink down the piece and look at it, like just squint your eyes a little bit. I squint my eyes a lot when I'm doing work. It's something I was told to do when I started doing art. Is to, look at them like someone would look at it, something really fast, and see how it reads once you look at it really fast like that. So yeah, I'm gonna leave these sketches like this for now, and I think I'm gonna head on to something different. And I can show you guys a little bit of like some of the stuff I was talking about composition with my comic, because it's all very still in the sketch phases. But for example, this shot, right? You want to be able to direct the viewer's eyes to the main focus of the drawing, and you can do that with a number of things. It can be something as simple as this, like making it super central in the middle of the drawing. You can do it with values, so like the lighter parts of the piece will be where the eyes are getting drawn to. You can do it with color, obviously, like making something more saturated or less saturated. But yeah, there's a number of ways you can do stuff to make a composition more readable in your advantage, like the artist's advantage. I kind of did a bit of both in this one. So as you can see, there's like this sort of frame around the page. It's going to be like a bunch of like leaves and like, you know, stuff like that. And then the middle part is just going to be her, and it's going to have a lot of light in it. It's going to be sort of like a spotlight on her, if you will. And yeah, all the direction lines just kind of tell you where to look at. For example, here in this like long shot of the main cabin of the comic, everything's quite dark, and it's all kind of like making this sort of spotlight in this bit of the canvas, and that would naturally be where your eyes would get drawn to. Yeah, I hope that makes sense in terms of composition. Okay, so I've decided what I'm gonna do. I have this like sketch that I had in my sketchbook that I kind of want to just, you know, see if it goes anywhere. So I took a picture of the sketch and I put the picture in here. We're gonna see what happens. It's just this little drawing of Willow, my OC. Okay, next question. Mental health update. Would be great if you feel comfortable to share it. Yeah, mental health update, why not? I've been feeling okay actually for the past few weeks. I've been doing the therapy for a few weeks now, like since before Christmas. I've been doing therapy, and it's going really well, which is lovely. And I feel like it's really been helping me a lot with current things, past things, you know, which in turn just make me feel a lot more stable. Obviously, there's always going to be, you know, bad days and whatever, but I haven't fully had like a relapse in quite a few months. So yeah, we love to see it. Therapy is helping. Who would have thought? How do you keep your excitement about art over a long period of time? I actually got a bunch of questions about just like how do you find motivation in general and motivation in art, and I get these questions quite a lot, especially now during COVID and, you know, self-isolation and whatever. It's really hard to like stay motivated and inspired when you're just stuck in the same place forever. And I get that, you know, COVID fatigue, it's very frustrating. What I've been doing, and don't get me wrong, like I've been having a lot of trouble with that, with, you know, feeling inspired or motivated to draw. I try to like broaden my like perspective, so I try to look at things that I like, artists and styles and stuff that I normally wouldn't. So something for me that changed a lot was I started reading manga, and that's like something I never got into up until now, and it, you know, it was a whole new style and a whole new way of storytelling that I wasn't like aware of, and that kind of sparked a lot of creativity and motivation in me to actually start my comic. Obviously, you got to be patient with yourself. You don't want to force yourself to do anything, but every once in a while I will try to just do some sketching, even if it's something as rough as the warm-up sketches that you saw me do a second ago. Like, it doesn't have to look good, it doesn't have to lead to anything, but it keeps me, like, my creative brain awake pretty much. And I always find that doing, like, sitting down and just doing some rough sketches in my sketchbook really makes me feel creative the next day or the day after that. Yeah, even if it doesn't feel that great at the time, it usually sparks creativity later on. Just gotta activate the creativity cells, you know? That one brain cell, you gotta let it loose. Just gotta. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone who's constantly super motivated or super inspired all the time. Everyone has highs and lows, so you just gotta sort of figure out what sparks your motivation. And whether that be a good night's sleep or going for a walk, I don't know, it's different for everyone. For me, I just find that, taking a break for a few days and then kind of slowly getting back into things is the best way to go. Favorite hair products currently? Lovely question. And also I'm rendering hair out right now, so that's topical. I have been very into Only Curls London. They're a small business from London and they make only like curly hair products, which are amazing. I tried out their curl enhancement cream or whatever it's called, I forget now, and it's like miracle juice really for my curls. I've been really into coconut oil hair masks. Coconut oil apparently is really good for you and your hair. So I've been doing a lot of masks and, trying to take better care of my hair, because now, as if I haven't been for a year, since I've been in quarantine, I've been trying to get into like hair care and actually try to figure out what my hair likes. Been just testing some stuff out. And this arm is just way too long in this sketch. Wow, okay. Tips for performance anxiety. Also love your art and work. Thank you so much. Emma needs coffee. Tips for performance anxiety. I don't think I'm very good to answer this question. I get really, really bad performance anxiety and just even like social anxiety. I get super anxious. So I don't really know how I would answer this question. I'd say like performance anxiety specifically starts like slowly getting better the more you do things, which comes with, that's how most things are. You start getting less anxiety the more you do anything. But performance anxiety, I guess you just figure out what helps you the most. I know that, taking deep breaths and drinking loads of water helps, but when you're having really bad performance anxiety, that's not exactly what your first thought goes to. I just try to like distract myself as much as possible until the moment I have to do whatever it is I'm gonna do, and then just jump into it. Because for me, normally the anxiety of like waiting for something to happen is most times worse than the actual event. For some reason, like I stress out too much with anticipation, and then when it gets to the actual thing, it's not that bad. So I try to distract myself as much as possible so I don't preemptively pass out of anxiety. What app do you animate on? I love your work. You inspire me to always go plus ultra. Oh, that's so cute. Uniquely.ari, thank you so much. Plus ultra. I actually started using a new app to animate. I used to use Procreate for animating, but you can only do so much on the Procreate app, and it kind of frustrates me that you can't do layers with frames. I mean, you can, but it's different to what I'm used to, and it's very frustrating. So I actually have been using this app called Callipeg. Callipeg. It's this one here, and it's so good. If you guys want to try it out, it's like €1 a month. For like the subscription base, but I just bought the program for £50 because for like how good it is, I think £50 was like such a bargain. It's pretty much just the same as the really expensive program that I use on my computer for work, which is called TV Paint. This is basically just like a much cheaper version of TV Paint, and it does pretty much everything the same. I'll show you guys. I was doing this little tester animation this past week. Yeah, so you can have different layers, see, like you would in a drawing, but with animation. And I use layers a lot, obviously, in animating. It's super helpful, especially when you do rough animation and then clean up and then etc. It's much easier to do it in this format. And, it does all the things. I've been messing around with it for the past few weeks, and I'm finding it super, super helpful. It has a fill bucket tool and everything. You can change onion skin stuff on it. I just really like it. And it's got the same undo gestures as Procreate, so that's really helpful because I just keep double tapping on everything these days. So this is the thing I made on it most recently, but I've been trying out animating different scenes from my short film on here, and it's been seamless, so I really recommend Callipeg app. Oh yeah, I'm so happy and I can't wait. How did you make time for art when you were in school? Yeah, as I was saying earlier, in school I drew a lot less than I wanted to. Like, I obviously drew all the time in class, and maybe I shouldn't have been most times, but I drew like on my breaks while I was listening to someone talk. I'd just always be doodling something. And I did take art in high school, so I did, a lot of drawing for that, but it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. It's like reading a book for English class. You don't enjoy it as much because you were told to do it. And yeah, I drew a lot on the weekends. I drew a lot just in my free time when I was done studying. Holidays, I pretty much didn't do anything. During school breaks or holidays, I just sat in my room and did drawing. It's a tricky one, school and hobbies. School is crazy. I just realized recently, I was talking to Devin about this, how little free time I actually had up until I graduated university. Like, I never really had like a hobby besides art. Like, I always had schoolwork and then also work outside of schoolwork, so I never really had time for hobbies up until now, where I don't have schoolwork, so I've only got work, and then when I'm not doing work, I'm actually doing like other activities, and that's something very new to me, and I'm very much enjoying it. Getting into crochet, roller skates, I'm getting into manga. I play games. Like, I didn't play games in high school. I didn't have time for that, you know what I mean? What's your favorite type of giraffey episode? This is a very good question for me. Regular, speed draws, guest episodes, detectives, etc. Thanks for the question, Hope's Art Stuff. I am a big fan of Giraffey. If you guys don't know who Giraffey is, they are a really awesome channel here on YouTube. They are a bunch of artists who just do a lot of comedy stuff with their art, and I'm a big fan. Oh, I've been a fan for years, actually. And I think my favorite type of episode, I do love a good challenge episode, like a drawing from memory or drawing things based off of their name only. Chaos always ensues. I love speed draws because I get to see their process, like the really rendered finished pieces. I love seeing Karina draw. Like, it's always so mesmerizing watching her sketch out those mad poses. I just love all of them. I watch all of them. I can't pick a favorite. How to get over the fear of learning something new because you're not instantly good at it. That fear of starting something new comes with literally anything, and you just have to like keep reminding yourself that, no one is born knowing everything. So just keep at it. I definitely have that frustration a lot when I start learning something new. I always get really frustrated when it takes me too long to get it. Like with roller skating, I definitely felt that frustration. I was like, I should be good at this. Why do I suck? And then I got really demotivated. But you just gotta remind yourself, it's no one's born knowing how to do everything. Just gotta keep at it. What do they say? It's like it takes you like 600 hours or something to be good at something like that. Yeah, I'm very much the kind of person that like I don't really tell people about things when I'm starting something new, and like until I know I'm good at it, because I'm very like I get very self-conscious, which isn't, it doesn't make any sense, because obviously everyone, when they start something new, they're not going to be good at it right off the bat. Own your stuff, you're trying something new. Own it. Tell people. Show everyone. My first few crochet attempts were disastrous. I was like, crochet, more like crochet, I really wanted to tweet that. I didn't. You're all very welcome that I didn't. And then, once you get really good at it, you can look back at how shit you were at the beginning, and you're like, whoa, look at that. Development. Lil Low and Me asks, how's work going? Is the pandemic a break to your activities? Not really, thankfully. The pandemic's been not that hard on my work because, thankfully, I get to work from home. So still doing both animation work and YouTube work and my shop stuff. Thanks to you guys, you know, I get to still do all of this. But yeah, work's going good. I've been working on some really nice projects, and I'm gonna be designing some new stuff for the shop soon. I've been feeling the itch to make new stuff, so that's fun. And yeah, work's been going lovely. Thank you for asking. There we go. That's fine. Yeah, so I'm just giving her like a little cute fit, nothing crazy. Whenever I can't be asked to think of like cool outfits, I just draw them in like a tight shirt and dungarees. That's my go-to. And ooh, she could have like a little flower or something over here. That'd be cute. How to figure out brand colors / symbol. I'm assuming you mean like a logo and branding, and that's pretty easy. I normally just go with like stuff that I love drawing the most. So stuff that I would, you know, mindlessly draw if I'm doodling. I love drawing those little ghosties, which is why I made them sort of like my branding or my, you know, mainly in my packaging. They're everywhere. And for colors, for branding, actually mine changed quite a lot because my favorite colors changed quite a lot, and sometimes I'll come across like a color combo that I'm like, this is so cool, I love this color combo, and then I'll change everything in my life to that color combo. So yeah, it doesn't have to be something that, you know, finite, that you're like, this is it, this is going to be my branding forever. You can always change your branding, and because, you know, you're going to probably change and your likes are going to change, so should your branding. It should reflect how you are at the moment. I actually have like a little color palette thing here on my Procreate of, yeah, this is sort of the colors that I normally go for. This one and this one. It's normally the colors I go for my anything shop related. Diana RP Carvalho asks, talk about your goals for when the pandemic is over / when it's more controlled. A lovely question. I talked about this a little bit with Devin in our podcast episode that went out a few weeks ago, but I definitely want to get into like some sort of group activity. I really wanted to join like a Pilates class or something, because I've never like, I haven't really made friends here in Manchester yet, and I've been living here for God knows how many months, and I don't really know anyone here. So I definitely want to join some sort of group, like physical activity. I want to just like go exploring. Obviously everything's closed. It's like I've been living in this city for 7-8 months, I don't know, and I still feel like such a stranger here. I don't know anything. First order of business will definitely be to explore everything, find all the cool little nitbits of the city, find the cool coffee shops where I can go work at, hopefully someday. I don't know, you know, I really like thinking about, you know, what am I going to do once this is all over? Let me know what your guys' goals are for when quarantine gets a bit less strict, or when it gets safer to do things again. Like, what do you guys want to do? I want to definitely go visit all my friends from uni, because we haven't seen each other in like a year, and we all miss each other a lot. We might have a little like graduation party, because we didn't get one, pretty much. Someone said, talk about your animation job. It's not as glamorous as I think everyone thinks it is. Not glamorous, but it's not as like exciting as everyone thinks it is. It's just a lot of me sitting in my pajamas at my desk. I mean, it's obviously a great job because I get to just sit at home and draw my silly little drawings and get paid for it. But I also get to like just watch shows while I work, which is awesome. I've been whizzing through so many animes and TV shows since I started working because I like having stuff on in the background. And, you know, that goes for podcasts as well. I whiz through a lot of podcasts from working. Audiobooks as well. I get to listen to audiobooks a lot more. I mean, I guess what you're asking me to talk about is like the details of my work, and it's really not that interesting. It's just I'm a freelancer. I apply for jobs, and then sometimes I get the jobs, and then I do the work for, I don't know, like weeks, months, and then when that project is over, I head on to my next job. Sometimes it feels a little stressful and you think you're not gonna have a job after the one you're currently working on. But thankfully I have like my YouTube and my online shop, so I'm always busy with something. I work a lot with a animation studio here in Manchester called Kilogram, and most of my work, I normally work with them. For you, I'm also filming a sort of a studio vlog this next week about like just my life as a freelance animator and illustrator, so hopefully that'll answer some more of your questions. What type of student were you in high school? Were you on the more were you more of the studious type? I definitely was. I was very much an overachiever in high school. I studied quite a lot. I got good grades. Maths was my downfall. I just hated maths. I could not grasp maths. I was an avid note taker. Like, you guys would be jealous of my notes if you saw them. They were so colorful. They were color coded. I had different pens for different underlining. I also thought that I wanted to be a doctor when I was in high school, so I took a lot of I made sure to get really good grades in case that was something I wanted to pursue, and maybe one day I'd need the grades for. I clearly didn't do that, but I got good grades in the meantime. Let me know if you guys like this setup of like having the iPad stuff on screen with me. It's kind of like my setup for when I do streams on Twitch, so I thought I'd just try it out for YouTube as well. See if you guys enjoy it. O que gostavas de atingir profissionalmente antes dos 35, 40 anos? Projetos, trabalhos, etc. So Carolina Danielle Art asks, what would I like to achieve professionally before my 35 or 40 years of age in terms of projects, work, etc.? Which is a very nice question. I definitely want to work on some sort of feature film. I want to direct something with a team at some point. I still on the fence about that one because I don't really like the pressure of being a director, but I'd like to give it a try at least. I'd love to animate a music video at some point. That'd be cool. What was your favorite project that you did in animation school? I loved Ribeira. Thank you so much, Michaela Reese Art. I always find it really sweet when you guys refer to projects that I've worked on, like animation-wise. It makes me feel really nice. I think I really loved working on Ribeira because it was my little baby, my graduation film. But I also really loved working on, we did a little documentary short film about Opportunity, the Mars rover. And it was also stop motion, but I was mainly on the production team and, editing team and stuff like that. And of course we all did a bit of animation, but the puppets were just so good, the puppets that my friend made, and the sets were so amazing as well. It was just like such a cool project, stop motion project to jump into, like my first one. So yeah, it definitely swayed my opinion on stop motion, and then I went on to do a stop motion final film for my graduation. I don't know how to improve my art when I can't go to drawing classes during COVID. Help? Yeah, there's so much you can do without going to classes. There's always online life drawing. I love online life drawing. I'll put the links in the description of some of the ones that I recommend. You can always practice with that. It's a great way to learn and improve your drawing is by drawing from life and drawing from live models and stuff like that. There's a bunch of like Zoom art classes that I'm sure you can find near you. And thing is with COVID, you can join art classes from all the way on the other side of the country or the planet. Really, you have a lot more possibilities now if you think about it. So have a look for Zoom, Facebook groups, or whatever it is you're on. There will be probably like events that people are doing or online classes that people are doing that you can join. And in the meantime, if you don't have anything to go on with, do some life drawing, give yourself exercises and stuff like that. Like today I'm going to do, an hour and something of this, and then I'm going to do an hour and something of that. Try to give yourself the structure that you would be expecting from an art class. Dahlia.crs asked, what is your typical animation process? It obviously differs for everyone, but I always like to go in with like at least 2 roughs before I go into the final animation. So I'll normally do like a really rough sketch of the movement and whatever. If there's a character involved, then definitely I'll do that, because figuring out where the body parts are gonna go and how they're gonna move, and figuring out timing as well, I'll do that with the rough sketch. I try to get everything like sort of timing wise perfect in the sketch, so then I don't have to tweak too much once I get to the more intricate, part of the process. So once you get to lining and stuff, you don't want to have to like change too much when you get there, because it's a lot more frustrating. And then I'll normally refine the sketch. I'll refine the roughs into an actual sketch, I think is more accurate. Then I'll do cleanup. Again, it depends what style I'm working with at the moment. Different projects call for different styles, but something for me that like a personal project, that's normally how I'd go around doing it. Rough, and then rough, and then lines, and then color. And then, depending on how intense the animation is or how detailed I want it to be, I'll add, shadings and shadows and highlights to the scene. Maybe add like multiply layers to it, like some gradients, just jazz it up a little if I want to. And then I'll export things and basically comp them all together in Premiere or any other video software. Last question. Eu realmente gosto de ouvir sobre a sua vida em Portugal. Você mora com a sua família? Another Portuguese question. Brizaki Gloria said, I really enjoyed hearing about your life in Portugal. Do you live with your family? Thank you. It's always cool that you guys are interested in my life back home in Portugal and everything. Yeah, when I go home, I stay with my mom. I live pretty much with my mom and my mom's partner and my little sister. It's all very lovely. We live close to the beach. It's awesome. I get to spend time with my pets. I have 2 cats and a dog, and they're lovely. And you guys probably already know this because I post about them way too much on my Instagram stories. I mean, when I'm home, I'm normally on like my downtime, I'm relaxing or on a holiday or something. It's always very healing going home. So I go for long walks with my mom and my dog a lot. We really enjoy walks along the beach. Not to be cliche, but it's true. It's very lovely. I just like to take in as much of the ocean as I can while I'm home. And yeah, I love seeing my family. And since that was the last question, I'm just kind of gonna finish off the drawing here. It's just kind of a little exercise drawing, nothing too crazy, not too rendered. She looks cute. Should I give her a background? I'm gonna give her a background. And I also need to turn down the opacity on her wings. I forgot to do that. Well, yeah, this is what I did today with you guys. We actually did some warm-up sketches, but, they're nothing to write home about. I did this little drawing of Willow, my OC, from the comic that I'm working on. So thank you all so much for sending in your questions for today's video. I always enjoy doing these videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye!